I am Michael Kurosh. I live in Santa Barbara, California, one of the most beautiful places on earth. My design center is where people come to reimagine their homes and spaces. I work with the best designers, clients with broad tastes, and experts who navigate the fascinating world of design. I'm always excited to learn something new, and I never say no to a challenge. This is Design Santa Barbara. Welcome to Design Santa Barbara. I'm Michael Kurosh, and today we are in Belfast, the capital of Northern Ireland. This beautiful city has had hard and troublesome times. Let's look into it and perhaps learn a little bit of its past and look into its future. Belfast is located in the upper eastern corner of the island of Ireland. It is the capital of Northern Ireland with a population of over 600,000 people. Over 1/3 of Northern Ireland's residents live within the metropolitan area. Belfast's name derives from the Old Irish Belfast, or river's mouth, as it resides on the confluence of the rivers Lagan and Farset. The site of modern-day Belfast has been populated for over 5,000 years. A henge, much smaller than this Stonehenge, but of similar construction, is located not far from the city center. It is known as the Giant's Ring. There are remains of Iron Age castles around the area, and two castles, Belfast Castle and Carrickfergus Castle, date back to the 13th and 12th centuries respectively. Known as a plantation town prior to the Industrial Revolution, Belfast was primarily Anglican and began to experience religious turmoil that foreshadowed greater conflict coming in the 20th century. After the successful revolutions of United States and France in the late 18th century, Belfast attempted to declare its independence from the United Kingdom, but was defeated in the Battle of Antrim in 1798. With the coming of the Industrial Revolution, Belfast became an important factory town within the British Empire. Landless Catholics moved to Belfast in droves for employment opportunities. The city experienced a rapid expansion during the 19th century, and after the secession of the Irish Free State in 1921, Belfast was named the capital of Northern Ireland, which remained under the control of Great Britain along with 5 other counties. By the 1920s, Belfast was considered the foremost city in the world for ship construction. The largest, grandest, and fastest ocean liners were built at the Harland and Wolff Shipyards, including the infamous RMS Titanic, which left an indelible mark on the city's history. We will discuss that later in the show. Belfast saw major bombing by the Nazis in World War II, second only to London. The Belfast Blitz, as it came to be known, killed over 1,000 people and left 10,000 homeless. Whereas most European cities saw major economic revitalization and prosperity at the end of World War II, Belfast quickly fell into a state of civil war. Known as the Troubles, a decades-long conflict between Protestant and Catholic residents led to thousands of deaths, massive destruction, and the declaration of Belfast as one of the most dangerous cities in the world from 1969 until 1998. The Europa Hotel in Belfast was attacked 36 times during the Troubles and came to be known as the most bombed hotel in the world. With a ceasefire in 1994 and a final peace deal in 1998, the internal conflict in Belfast subsided and the city prepared to enter the 21st century. Today, Belfast is a thriving city of over 600,000 with new developments, including the Titanic Quarter, which pays homage to the city's maritime history along with other districts. When we come back, we will learn more about Belfast's rich history and its incredible architecture. Today we are with Jess, the owner and creative director of Just LED at the Santa Barbara Design Center, and he's a marvel of lighting. So I understand there is a new recessed lighting that replaces the old clunky big ones, is more ergonomic, and you carry these. Can you explain to our viewers what this is all about and what kind of benefits they get out of it?
Yes, Michael. Traditionally, 6-inch and 4-inch has been the standard across America. The big clunky trims on the ceiling, you'll see them all over America. Since LED has come to another level on recessed fixtures, and as a designer, we like to see tight little go-away trims that you don't see, they're up in the ceiling. So we have trims that are 3.5 inches that go, the light sits up in the ceiling, so when you walk in it doesn't hit you in the face like the 6 and 4-inch traditional cans used to do. They also dim warm, so it's like the old traditional dimming. Everyone loves LED dimming to the way halogens used to. It's called warm dim, so they dim down nice and warmly. So, and it's all sat above the ceiling and it's all optical, sending shafts of light through the room, creating a great mood in the room.
Well, that's very nice, and I have seen it actually in your showroom. Come down here and see what he has to offer and make your house beautiful and warm. Thank you very much.
No problem.
One of the names most closely associated with Belfast is Titanic. Conceived as the largest ocean liner in the world by Thomas Andrews and J. Bruce Ismay of the White Star Line, Titanic and her sister ships Olympic and Britannic were built at Harland and Wolff Shipyards in Belfast. Opened in 1861, H&W Shipyards quickly became the pride and joy of Belfast. The city's largest employer and driving force of its economy, this yard created some of the most iconic vessels in modern history. Between 1909 and 1912, work at the yards were focused on the construction of the largest vessel in history, to be known as Titanic. In order to build such a massive ship, the yards had to be reconstructed to accommodate gigantic scaffolds, cranes, and a slipway for when it was time to enter the water. Over the course of 26 months, thousands of steel sheets were riveted into a hull of massive proportion. The largest anchor ever built was forged for Titanic, and once completed, it took 20 Clydesdales horses to transport it. In total, 15,000 workers took part in the building of Titanic at Harland and Wolff. There were 6 fatalities in process and around 250 major injuries. On May 31st, 1911, Titanic was released into the River Lagan. It took 20 tons of soap spread across the slipway to get her to move into the water. After final detailing and sea trials, Titanic was launched on April 10, 1912 to great fanfare. The world's wealthiest individuals purchased tickets for the luxury journey from Southampton, England to New York City. Over 2,200 people, including many proud Belfast workers who took assignments on the ship they built, were on board the Titanic for her maiden voyage when unthinkable happened. In the late hours of April 14, 1912, Titanic collided with an iceberg in North Atlantic Ocean. Despite being heralded as unsinkable due to her watertight compartment design, the damage proved to be too great and she began to founder. With not enough lifeboats for the entire complement of passengers and crew, over 1,500 men, women, and children lost their lives, including many residents of Belfast. Word of the tragic sinking reached Belfast on April 16th. Thousands of people stood outside the Belfast Telegraph newspaper office to hear the slow trickle of survivors' names come in. In all, 22 people of Belfast who worked on Titanic, including her designer Thomas Andrews, perished in the sinking. 8 passengers with connections to the area were also lost. The city was left in a state of shock at what happened to its pride and joy. Within days of sinking, a memorial was proposed and approved by the city government. Its construction was slowed by the outbreak of World War I in 1914, but in June of 1920, the memorial was formally dedicated. To commemorate the 100th anniversary of the sinking, a greater Titanic Memorial Garden was constructed around the monument and dedicated in 2012. When we come back, we will explore the architecture and design of Belfast. Stay tuned. There is more Design Santa Barbara after the break. Today we are with Miss Sherry Bagai from Sherry B Design, and she's our in-house window and drapery specialist. So, Miss Sherry, viewers had a question as why should they actually use window coverings in their home where they can have it free and open and everybody can, God knows, look in and they can look out. Could you explain?
There are many reasons, obviously, but I'm going to give you 6 important reasons that why having window coverings in the house is beneficial to you. Number 1 is the style. You know, with adding window coverings, you can make a room look formal, informal, contemporary. You can definitely bring a style and a warmth to the room. Second one, probably, I think the most important would be privacy. We all want to have privacy inside the house, so honeycomb shades are perfect. They would let the light in, but nobody can see inside and outside. I think the third most important reason would be the light that comes through. If you don't have any window coverings, your wood floor can get faded, your area rugs can get affected by the lights. The next important one would be the energy cost.
Yes.
With the window covering, you can make the room cooler, warmer, and definitely helps you with keeping the cost of your electricity and gas low. Last but not least would be how much value it would add to your home. If you're thinking about selling your home, definitely the right window covering, window treatment makes your home more elegant and more desirable.
More representative.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with all of them. And I highly recommend you, if you're looking for window coverings, come see Sherry B at Santa Barbara Design Center and get the right and proper window covering and add to your home and make your life happier.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. Welcome back to Design Santa Barbara, as we explore the history and design of Belfast, Northern Ireland. The architectural style of Belfast's buildings range from Edwardian, like the City Hall, to modern, like Waterfront Hall. Many of the city's Victorian landmarks, including the main Lanyon building at Queen's University Belfast and the Linen Hall Library, were designed by Sir Charles Lanyon. The City Hall was finished in 1906 and was built to reflect Belfast's city status, granted by Queen Victoria in 1888. The Edwardian architectural style of Belfast City Hall influenced the Victoria Memorial in Calcutta, India, and Durban City Hall in South Africa. The dome is 173 feet high and figures above the door state Hibernia, encouraging and promoting the commerce and art of the city. Among the city's grandest buildings are 2 former banks: Ulster Bank in Waring Street, built in 1860, and Northern Bank in nearby Donegal Street, built in 1769. The Royal Courts of Justice in Chichester Street are home to Northern Ireland's Supreme Court. Windsor House, 262 feet high, has 23 floors and is the second tallest building in Ireland. Work has started on the taller Oval Tower, which already surpasses the height of Windsor House in its unfinished state. The ornately decorated Crown Liquor Saloon, designed by Joseph Anderson in 1876 in Great Victoria Street, is one of the only 2 pubs in the UK that are owned by the National Trust. It was made internationally famous as the setting for the classic film Odd Men Out, starring James Mason. The restaurant panels in the Crown Bar were originally made for Britannic, the sister ship of the Titanic built in Belfast. The Harland and Wolff Shipyards has two of the largest dry docks in Europe, where the giant cranes, Samson and Goliath, stand out against Belfast's skyline. Including the Waterfront Hall and the Odyssey Arena, Belfast has several other venues for performing arts. The architecture of the Grand Opera House has an Oriental theme and was completed in 1895. It was bombed several times during the Troubles, but has now been restored to its former glory. The Lyric Theatre, the only full-time producing theatre in the country, is where film star Liam Neeson began his career. The Ulster Hall was originally designed for grand dances, but is now used primarily as a concert and a sporting venue. These are only a hint of the incredible architecture and design of this amazing city. I hope you get a chance to experience it yourself someday. Thank you for watching Design Santa Barbara, and we hope you will join us next week for another episode. Welcome to Design Santa Barbara. I'm Michael Korosh, and today we are in Santa Barbara Design Center, about to head south to Montecito, California, to see a project my dear friend Monica Sen has to show us. If you remember, Monica's mother is Mary Lou Sorrell from the past seasons. She's a talented designer, and Monica has inherited that from her. So she works for the architectural firm Warner Group. Warner Group is the premier architectural and interior design firm in California, and under the leadership of Teep Kong has grown exponentially, and they do the finest architectural jobs in the country. So please join us. Let's head south and see what Monica has to show us today. Good morning, Monica.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. Such a beautiful place.
It is.
It's so nice. It's a beautiful morning in Santa Barbara, and
Yes.
you look very well too.
Thank you, thank you. So I have a project I'd like to show you today.
Love to see it.
Okay.
It must be stunning.
Okay,
Let's go.
it is.
I'm excited. Wow, this is stunning. That is a grand entrance. Look at this.
Yes, our foyer greets you.
It greets you with a big punch. It's beautiful.
Yes.
Very, very, very elegant.
Very elegant.
So tell us a little bit about the house. How did you end
So-
up doing this?
The owners called Warner Group about 10 years ago, and we remodeled and did some of the interiors. And then throughout the years, they've just keep calling us back to do another room here and there. And I'm going to show you a few of the latest rooms that I just finished this
I'd love
year.
to see that. So this is a
Starting
marvelous
here,
chandelier.
yes.
What is this?
Yes, so they had a heavy iron chandelier here previously and wanted to have something a little lighter, a little more delicate.
Lighter in color, but not lighter in weight.
No, no. Well, with the volume ceilings and the grandness, it needed to support that. And so I had it, you know, the reverse wedding cake down, and each leaf was installed one at a time.
Wow, where are the leaves coming from? They look very, very interesting.
Glass, and all the ironwork is a black nickel. Wanted to tie in with the black railings and not be too heavy.
You know, the railings are very traditional Spanish colonial look, and this is
Right.
modern looking, but they blend very well together.
Yes, and that's what's so nice, is that you don't have to just stay with the style of the home, of being a Spanish home, traditional, but bringing in another level of elegance.
This is
too.
your expertise. It's beautiful. So tell us a little bit about the furnishings you use here.
So we've got a hand-carved 22-karat gold leaf table with the marble top, an antique mirror, all with hand carvings, flanking by a couple chairs that I had custom made with Fortuny fabrics, and just keeping it simple.
And the matching
then-
settee.
And a matching settee that, again, light palette, beautiful blues, which are their favorite color. And so you'll see that as we walk through the house, that
This attention
blue.
to detail is impeccable. Look at those
Yes,
round
and
pillows you did.
So
It's
the
just
little
like work of art.
bolsters.
And it's a
So
lot
there
of
was
detail.
fun to design and pick out all the trim and the fringe and tassels and fabrics.
It's a lot of work, but it is beautiful.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about this
And the floors.
That
We've got
is-
this beautiful terracotta floor with the,
Are they old?
so the floors are older and bringing in some color, and then you've got the tiles that go up the stairs as well.
Where'd you get the little tiles from?
These were all here.
Oh, they were original to the house?
Yes.
Wow,
yes,
so they must be
Yes.
very nice, very nice. Okay, so where do we go from here?
And so I'll take you to the great room.
Oh, that great room you did a few
Yes.
weeks ago. All right,
Yes.
that finished. Let's go check it out.
Okay.
Wow, no wonder you call it the great room.
Yes.
It is a great room.
It is a great room.
Fantastic.
Yes, it was a fun project. I had free reign in here except for the Steinway, of
Is that an
course.
original Steinway and Sons, isn't
Yes,
it?
it
Wow,
is.
that's a treasure.
Yes, it's gorgeous. And so we closed it up and rolled the rug, and we actually crated around the entire piano.
You created it so it doesn't get damaged?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
exactly. Yes. And then we began, and the ceilings were very heavy and dark and rather orange. And so I wanted to lighten them up. And so we started with the ceilings, and then in the meantime, I picked out some beautiful sofas that had nice shape to them, and
It's kind of unique sofas you picked.
yes.
And there are two of them.
And there are two of them, so you can have conversations, because this is a great room for entertaining. And we have a large coffee table between the two sofas, and that way you're not too far away from the person on the other side, and
But distance
plenty of
enough.
distance enough.
So be able to
yes.
talk. That's very
Yes.
nice.
Yes, which is important, because I don't like rooms where the furniture is so spread apart that you can't actually have a conversation.
It's
with
intimate,
someone.
but very
Yes.
nicely distant. So you just,
Yes.
you feel like
Yes.
very good. It's very nice. Actually, a
so-
lot of houses that I go, their furniture, as you said, they're so big and so far apart, and you have to yell at the other person.
Right.
Whereas here is very nice.
Yes.
You sit down, you have a nice conversation, and the fireplace is very nice too.
And the fireplace is very nice. It was a real white plaster, and so I did a very light lime wash just to tone it down, working with the staining of the beams and plastering the walls over so we could apply the silk wallpaper.
And that's very, very, very subliminal. You don't see it at first sight at all. I didn't know
Right.
it until you mentioned it.
Yes, and so it's nice just having that subtle texture on the walls. It just softens up the room, and the drapery with the flowers going up the vines on the silk drapery.
Tell us a little bit about these details you do. Like you do that little beautiful demi-luce you do with that beautiful lamp you have, and the pillows and the whole nine yards. Tell us a little bit about each one of them.
Right, so this little cabinet holds her music while she, that all stores. So we measured all of her music books and made sure that they fit in there, and then designed the cabinet with all the hand painting. And
He
then
looks
the
like he's
color.
200 years old.
I know, it's beautiful. It
Very
turned out
nicely
really
done.
nice. I was thrilled with it. And the color, the blue, again, bringing
The rest of
they
the house
said,
in. Yes.
everything, a little blue everywhere. And then we have our pink chairs, which were very fun to do. And just a nice little intimate seating while either she's playing the piano or her daughter's playing the piano. They're very comfortable, actually.
And the pillows.
And the
I remember you
pillows.
picked the rug at the very end too.
I did. I picked the rug at the very end because I know I can always find a rug from you.
You are very talented. You're very good. Usually designers start with the rug first, but I thank you for your confidence in me.
I knew my colors and what I wanted, and I had all these great fabrics, and they were all coming together. And I also love that I can have everything installed and here, and then you bring the rugs in.
Yes.
I mean, we meet at your design room and look at the rugs and then make some selections and bring them here.
The rug you picked actually is one of my all-time favorite rugs, and it comes from a George Washington Smith house as well, which is the style of this house at least, and the colors is very unusual. You have a great taste, my friend. I have to tell you, not because you're my friend, just I see it. Every little detail. You know, you were saying about that lampshade.
About the lampshade. So everything you're going to see little, if you look close enough, you're going to see little trims and fringe and gimp and tape. And this lampshade, I put trim, just a little trim around the edge. Is something that anybody could do. You start with a plain lampshade, but just that little bit transforms it.
Transforms it. Not for the viewers. You can do it yourself.
Yes, you can do it yourself.
DIY. There we go.
Yes.
And you said about these flowers. Everywhere you have beautiful flowers, and then you have the chandelier that actually you painted the anchor on that.
Yes. So the chandelier in here originally was a very heavy iron Spanish chandelier. There were sconces on the walls. I got to take all of those off. And I just wanted to really feature my chandelier. But I had to use the existing iron brackets because they were custom fit into the beam. And so I had them all hand painted, faux to match the hook and the chain for the chandelier.
That's attention to the minute details that a lot of people would miss. That's what I love about you and the Warner Group. You guys do amazing jobs.
Thank you.
One after another.
Thank you.
Very nice. So, and the wall hangings at the very back, those...
I know, there's beautiful hand-painted panels, and the blue just really picked up my sofa fabric. I loved them as soon as I saw them, and it just kind of anchored on the back wall and brings that color all the way through to the room.
It's just everything is matching without overpowering the room. Everything is.
Yes, and then you look outside and it just comes inside. You've got the green and the vines and the trees. It's a beautiful...
It's dreamy.
It's a great room.
Thank you.